Okay, everybody. So now we're going to go into deeper understanding of this bullshit. Remember, oops, wrong book. I got too many books. Okay, remember, their secret passwords are Lux Fiat. Already broke down Lux. Already broke down Lux Fiat, and it means let there be light, and there was light. Now let's understand what light is. Okay, light is an important word to the Masonic system. It conveys a far more radiant meaning than it is believed to possess by the generality of readers. It is, in fact, the first of all the symbols presented to the Nephite and continues to be presented to him in various modifications throughout all his future progress in his Masonic career. It does not simply mean, as might be supposed, truth or wisdom, but it contains within itself a far more abstruse allusion to the very essence of speculative masonry and embraces within its capacious signification all the other symbols of the order. Remember the Masonic order. Freemasons are empathetically called the Sons of Light because they are, or at least are entitled to be, in possession of the true meaning of the symbol, while the profane or uninitiated who have not received this knowledge are, by a parity of expression, said to be in darkness. This connection of material light with this emblematic and mental illumination. Wait, that's the test of illumination, right? Because remember, the test of illumination is this. Could they do it again if they lost everything and everyone? Could they rebuild from nothing? Stupid fucks. Was prominently exhibited in all the ancient systems of religion and esoteric mysteries. Oh, wait. That's why the section, the Illuminati and religion, like I've been telling you this whole fucking time. Oh my. And esoteric mysteries, which again, that's why I've been breaking all these books down and exposing all this shit. Because remember, Ephesians 5:11, reprove all evil, meaning expose, and God bless you with the power and authority to stomp on serpents and scorpions, defeating all evil. So it's what we're supposed to do. Among the Egyptians, the hair was the hieroglyphic of eyes that are open because that animal was supposed to have his eyes always open. The priest afterward adopted the hair as the symbol of the moral illumination again. Wait, Illumination. Remember that? That's a fucking production company, right? It made The Secret Life of Pets, Despicable Me, revealed to the neophytes in the contemplation of the divine truth, and hence, according to Champollion, it was also the symbol of Osiris, their principal divinity, and the chief object of their mystic rites, thus showing the intimate connection that they maintain in their symbolic language between the process of initiation of the contemplation of divinity. Now, two things I'm going to point out here, right? The mystic rites. Israel Regardi, the Golden Dawn. Look, remember, the original account of the teaching rites and ceremonies of the Hermetic Order. Showed you that already, right? And then The second thing about that is, remember how they tell you trust the process? Yeah, I've been telling you fuck off with that process this whole time. Are you starting to understand why? And initiation. Remember, I've been breaking down the initiation process. That's a complete bunch of bullshit that I'm never gonna have nothing to do with it. I'm gonna expose it so y'all motherfucking get called out on that shit and fucking targeted every fucking time you try it on somebody else. Told you, fuck around and find out with me. On this subject, a remarkable coincidence has been pointed out by M. Portal, symbol or Sim Des Egypt 69. In the Hebrew language, there the word for hair is Arnbet, which seems to be compounded are light, and Nabat to see, so that the word which among the Egyptians was used to designate an initiation among the Hebrews meant to see the light. Again, I showed you the bullshit where the idiots stood around this fucking orb that they put the fucking continents on. Yeah, that's a bullshit scam because idiots, that's your initiation. You understand somebody's behind the scenes with a little light switch that you touch it, they turn it on. Dumb motherfuckers, you fall for stupid shit because you're a fucking idiot. And that's your initiation, right? But I also expose the world. Dude, look, for fucking under $10, you can buy a fucking crystal ball, put a fucking flashlight on it, and do it yourself. Oh, but you can also get a Sharpie and just draw on the fucking continents. That's globalism 101, people. Wake the fuck up. If we proceed to an examination of the other systems of religion which were practiced by the nations of antiquity. Wait, antiquity is also in the Alcoholics Anonymous book. Are you understanding everything I've been telling you this whole fucking time is true, and I finally got the books to prove it? Which were practiced by the nations antiquity, we shall find that light always constituted a principal object of adoration, because principle is for personalities, right? As the primordial source of knowledge and goodness, and that darkness was with them synonymous with ignorance and evil. The beard, I think that's an expression for encyclopedia, bib, lot, attribute this view of divine origin of the light among the Eastern nations to the fact that light in the East has a clearness and brilliancy, is accompanied by an intensity of heat, and is followed by the influence of a largeness of good, of which the inhabitants of less genial climates have no conception. Light easily and naturally, because, in consequence, with Orientals, a representation of the highest human good, all the more joyous emotions of the mind, all the pleasing sensations of the frame, all the happy hours of intercourse, domestic intercourse. You're understanding like why I literally exposed on page 69 of the fucking Alcoholics Anonymous book, right? It says only God can judge our sexual preferences, choices, whatever the fuck. And the tradition, right? Oh, our public relations policy is based on attraction rather than promotion. We must always maintain personal anonymity at the level of press, radio, and films, right? Were described under imagery derived from light. The transition was natural from earthly to heavenly, from corporeal to spiritual things, and so light came to typify true religion and the felicity which it imparts. But as light not only came from God, but also makes man's way clear before him, so it was employed to signify moral truth. And preeminently, that divine system of truth which is set forth in the Bible from its earliest gleamings onward to the perfect day of the great Son of Righteousness. Wait, the great Son of Righteousness, right? That's that right there, isn't it? No shit. As light was thus adored as the source of goodness, darkness, which is the negation of light, or of hence, okay, negation of light was adored as the course of evil. The negation of light was abhorred as a cause of evil, and hence arose the doctrine which prevailed among the ancients that there were two antagonistic principles continually contending for the government of the world. And two breakdowns on that, right? Remember, I showed you fire and water in this, connected the dots to show you that's the two serpents going around the fucking pole of Baphomet's stomach. Light, says Duncan, Relig of Prof. Ant 187, abbreviations, I don't know what the full words are, but is a source of positive happiness. Without it, man could barely exist. And since all religious option is based on the idea of pleasure and pain and the corresponding sensations of hope and fear, it is not to be wondered if the heathen referenced light. Darkness, on the contrary, by replunging nature, as it were, into a state of nothingness and depriving man of the pleasurable motions conveyed through the organ of sight, was ever held in abhorrence as a source of mystery and fear. Like, I mean, again, that's a reference to, like I said, these are fucking footnotes in these books, dude. Look. The Power of Fear section. Okay. The two opposite conditions in which man thus found himself placed, occasioned by the enjoyment of the banishment of light, the test of illumination, right, induced him to imagine the existence of two antagonistic principles in nature. You mean fire and water, which I literally broke down and exposed to the Golden Dawn book, the Hermetic Order? But okay. And to whose dominion he was alternately subjected. Such was the dogma of Zoroaster, the great Persian philosopher who, under the name of Ormuzd, I believe, and Abraman, symbolized these two principles of light and darkness. Such was also the doctrine through somewhat, though somewhat modified, of Manes, the founder of the subject of Manichaeism, who described God the Father as ruling over the kingdom of light and contending with the powers of darkness. Pythagoras also mandated this doctrine of the two antagonistic principles. He called the one unity. Wait, that's on every Alcoholics Anonymous coin, isn't it? Damn. Light, the right hand, equality, stability, and a straight line. Are you getting the connections to your fucking 12-step program, you dumb motherfuckers, yet? I've been telling you this whole time. The other he named binary darkness. Oh, now you're understanding. It's like, I'm non-binary because I'm light. You see how easy it is to see through everything when you just pay attention to detail and read and educate your mind, people? Darkness is the left hand, inequality, instability, and a curved line of the colors. He attributed white to the good principle and black to the evil one. The Jewish Kabbalists believed that before the creation of the world, all space was filled with the infinite intellectual light, which afterwards withdrew itself into an equal distance from a central point in space, and afterward, by its emanation, produced future worlds. The first emanation of this surrounding light into the abyss of darkness produced what they called the Adam Kadam, the first man, or the first production of the divine energy. And I just broke down where their bullshit whatever the fuck you want to call it, the Big Bang Theory came from, right? I'll go over it again. Okay, the Big Bang Theory. The Jewish Kabbalists believed that before the creation of the world, the Big Bang Theory, all space was filled with infinite intellectual light, which afterwards withdrew itself into an equal distance from the central point in space, and afterward, by its emanation, produced future worlds. The Big Bang Theory. Anyways, okay, in the Bhagavad Gita, one of the religious books of the Brahmins, it is said, light and darkness are esteemed the world's eternal ways. He who walketh in the former path returneth not. That is, he goeth immediately to bliss, while he who walketh in the latter cometh back again upon the earth. Reincarnation, right? Yeah, if you sell your soul and you do that stupid shit, you're gonna be reincarnated until you get the fucking lesson. That's what it's telling you. That's why I'm saying fuck your cult, fuck your organization, fuck all your bullshit. I'm fucking out. In fact, in all ancient systems, this reverence for light as an embolistic representation of the eternal principle of good is predominant in the mysteries that candidate passed during his initiation through scenes of utter darkness, a test of illumination, right? And at length terminated his trial by an admission to the splendidity illuminated Sakellum, where he was said to have attained pure and perfect light, and where he received the necessary instructions which were to invest him with that knowledge to the divine truth which had been the object of all his labors. And I guarantee you what I just read broke down where they're talking about putting you on a cross and cutting you with all this shit. And I connected the dots, showed you, hey, wait, if you look online, you'll see Angelina Jolie literally talked about that initiation bullshit. Fuck your shit. I want no part of it. You should have fucking never fucked around and found out with me. I told you you should never touch my fucking shit, but you dumb motherfuckers did as a great group conscious because of your unity. You're all going the fuck down.